All righty, what's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly update. Hope everybody's having a lovely weekend. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. Guys, we're going to kick it off here with the indices. We're going to go over the Mag 7 stocks. We got the semiconductors. We'll touch up on Bitcoin, and then I got some trade ideas going into next week just for you. These are short-term trade ideas. Those will be at the end of the video. All right, so we're going to kick it off here with SPY, and the theme of today's video is going to be the 200 daily moving average. In the weekly time frame, I'm not going to say things look good, but I am going to say it is extremely likely that we're about to get, a little snap back here, and from there, we have to see what happens. Are we going to get rejection over here by these short-term moving averages? Are we going to be able to reclaim this 580.91 to 585.39 zone we got, we got laid out right here? That's going to be a big spot. If you can get above there, we're probably going to come up here. All right. First stop is that zone on the upside. First stop is 580 up to 585. If you can get above 585, that's when you can come up here and maybe actually see the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement get tested, which would be right up here around 595. So take it step by step. We don't know if you're getting up here until you can get above here. Right here, you're going to have the daily 9, and a lot of times we come back into things and like here you rejected there and then you went down to new low. And then what happened? You reclaimed things and you came back to test them. So that would, if we were to really reclaim them, it's going to go something like that. And then we're probably just going to come right back here and you're going to test those. And you don't know if you're going to find buyers off them until you do. Like over here, you found buyers off them, okay? And then you got back above them. Oh, you pulled back, you found buyers off them again. And you continuously reverted to the mean, 1, 2, 3, 4 times before you actually started rolling over here. And then look, oh, you kept finding buyers off them. So once we come back here, and if we get above here, don't expect you to just shoot up to new highs, all right? Expect rejection here and expect you to come back into them. But the other scenario is you just come up here to 585 and then maybe you come down to a new low and then you would get something like that. But, at that point, we're going to have everything resetting here. And then the daily RSIs, we probably are going to finally see them get oversold, knowing our luck. So, we just got to wait and see what's actually going to happen here. You can't just expect it to go to the moon, but you also can't just expect it to keep falling off a cliff when the whole freaking market is looking for further downside. Nobody wants to pay attention to the fear and greed index, okay? I'm not a fan of the tool, but I will tell you right now, it does seem to bottom out 15 to 20, no matter what. Even in, the 2022 bear market, if you got to, extremes, I think we hit a low of like 7. But, other than that one time, all right, it just bounces back at like, we're going to say around 20. It's hitting 17 as of Friday. It hit 17 as of this day right here. And then the next day was, this crazy short squeeze day. So yeah, we're probably about to get a little bit of a short squeeze action going on here. And I don't think it's the best to try and short the whole. I think if you want to short, you're just going to wait for this bounce. And again, it's going to wind up in one of these scenarios. If you want to take a short, it's going to be from this zone or it's going to be up here off of something like 598.51. All right. So that is, just, I'm not giving financial advice because no financial advice will be given on this channel. And, I'm not the best at taking short positions, but I'll tell you right now, I'm thinking very strongly about this. You're sitting at the 200 daily moving average that so many stocks we're about to go over. It's very likely that you aren't going to get this bounce, okay? So let's go over the levels here. We know we're looking for the bounce. And you come over here, you got VIX over here, all right? And it's looking very constructive. So I'm just going to say, even on this bounce, until you lose 1950, and why do I say 1950? That's where the 21 EMA is. If you can lose the 21 EMA, that's when momentum, will actually start to fade, and then you can get a larger crush. If you just pull back here, it's still in constructive, in this constructive manner. It's still sitting above the short-term daily moving averages over here. And maybe it's just a reversion to the mean before it actually spikes above 28.32. I was hoping we got this spike, this final, this move, this 1 to 2 day VIX spike that just shoots to the moon here. We didn't get it, but that would have been, something nice to see. That's when you typically do know your bottoms are in, when VIX has its spikes. All right. It doesn't just keep spiking. All right. It can keep doing what it's just been doing. It's looking constructive. This is what I'm saying. So maybe we're right here, pull back to the mean, and then you continue ripping. I'm really not sure exactly how that's going to go, but as you could see, when you have these spikes, it's a lot easier than when you're just, continuing to build up here on top of yourself. And that's exactly what we've had recently. The spikes are short-lived. These things, all right, we just literally have to wait, just like over here, until you lose the short-term moving averages, over here until you lose the short-term moving averages. All right, spikes are much easier to deal with because it happens all at once and it's less painful. Right now, you've had a market that is straight sold for 1 to 2 weeks now. That's why VIX, just every little dip here gets bought up. It's just like over there on the S&P 500. Every little bounce here keeps getting sold. All right. So, shorting the pops over here has been, a successful strategy for the last 2 weeks. And it can be from either here or up here. You just got to see what happens. You got to see if sellers step in there. All right. So resistance on SPY, we're paying attention to 580.91, 585.39, 590.49, and 595, which is the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level. And then on the downside is your support. You have 572.30, 567.89, and 565.16. In Friday's video, right? I'm not going to say I've gotten this, right whatsoever. But, I will tell you, we're probably sitting here. We really haven't gone anywhere all week since Monday's move. Since Tuesday, we've just been in the same exact little area over here. But, I thought we'd get a bounce back in the beginning of the week if we got down here. They ended up making it pretty slow and painful over there. They're not letting this, like I just pointed out on VIX, they're not letting the, oscillators over here. They're not hitting oversold territory. You're not letting VIX spike. Like, they are purposely trying to, drive people crazy here with the slow action. And I understand it is quite volatile. So intraday trading, you've been having a fun time on that playground over there. But, in terms of, just thinking the dip's going to be over relatively quick, we're going to end up getting a short squeeze, action stepping in here. They have not been letting that be the case. And, honestly, you don't really have a reason. I was talking to my buddy, he likes all the fundamental stuff. He just likes talking about all this stuff. So every time we talk, he'll go on and on and on about it. And, yeah, honestly, he was telling me how screwed these tariffs are, just with everybody battling, just with how, just how many ways products have to go back and forth every single, just to get labeled and just to, to have all these things. Like, you put a 20% tariff over on, something going to China. Well, and then China also tariffs it coming back over here. Well, things tend to take 2 trips. All right. It's cheaper to go package them, send it, like, get the fruit here. Like, cause I'm on this like health binge or whatever. I've just been strictly eating fruits. Plums, guys, my new favorite fruit. I keep spending way too much. So honestly, it's cheaper than actually buying normal stuff. Because you're fuller sooner. You could eat 3 plums and you're pretty much full. I ate like 5 plums in a row yesterday, I guess. So going up there. But I was just like, oh, I just spent $20 on all these plums. I ate them, pretty much in front of my buddy yesterday, and he was like, holy crap. I was like, yeah, it's $20. And he was telling me, he was like, dude, it's going to go up, like, straight up. You tariff something going over there, there's 25%, and then it comes back, and then you send it over there for the labeling somewhere else. There's another that, it just gets compounded, and all of a sudden 2 trips equals, over 100%. Like, we're about to see all the prices go up and stuff like that. He's getting that. And, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if that is happening, like, that's why the market's been responding like that. Like, every time the orange man wants to talk about it, that's what the market's trying to price in. So, there is reason for the prices going down. And if you do get this pop, just understand that's still going to be the case. And we could come all the way back over here to 2018 and you get a whole bunch of this crap. All right. So this was the last time Trump induced, these mini crashes with the tariffs. So if we get this bounce, like maybe, maybe you do some action like this where you just get sold back off. We're going to be in this clown market until we're not in the clown market. And I don't think the tariffs talks are going away. So, on this bounce, just keep that in mind. That can be the case. Don't expect things to just go back to all-time highs. But we do expect a mean, reversion to the mean trade to start up. Excuse me, I got the hiccups, all right? So that's SPY over here, but you're sitting right on the 200 daily moving average. They didn't let you get oversold over here, but I am going to assume, you're going to get long-term investors stepping up here, and you're going to probably test like 590-ish at least. All right, and that would be a 50% retracement. It's either going to be right over here in this zone, 580 to 585. Get above there, you're watching 590 to 595, probably 595. And then we can see what happens there. But again, you have these short-term moving averages. And, you know, if you get a spike here, right here's the daily 9 at 585, get another spike, it's going to be at 590. So maybe we wick up there. We're going to have to see what happens. Over here on QQQ, oh, what is that? We're also right on the 200 daily moving average. Well, we're, you know, it's kind of sitting right on it right there. You're under it, but, you know, it's never going to be perfect. You undercut it over here and you got bought up. So I do have to assume you're probably going to get bought up here and revert to the mean at least. On the upside is resistance. You have 594.49, 599.70, 503.28, and 511.05. That's going to be around the daily 21. So if we get a spike early on the week right there, expect sellers there just by default. And if you can get above it, all right, get above 511.05. We're watching 517.75. And then 522.19. On the downside is your support. You're going to have 489.38. 486.20, 483.75, and 480.53. I don't think this wick is going to be faded because we already had one failed bullish setup over here. I think we're probably going to get bulls stepping up here after the little fake out we just had. But if it does, you have 477.40 on the downside. There's that. Coming over here to IWM, so that's another, both of them are on the 200 DMA. Over here on IWM, I pointed out this area 201.99. I said if you keep falling, you're just going to come down here. You already do have a bullish divergence carving out there. Oh, and speaking of 4-hour bullish divergences, you have them here on QQQ. Eventually, these are going to play out. You have them here on SPY. Eventually, things are going to play out. It's not going to be perfect, but eventually it does. And IWM, you got those on the 4-hour. You got some on the daily. Get above 208.84. You're watching 213.97. On the downside support, you have 21.99. Come over here to DIA. You also have the 200 DMA sitting right underneath. So, you know, you got this 431.42 to 433.20 zone to reclaim. Get above there. We're talking 438.70. But that's all I'm paying attention to over on DIA. You got to get above here to test up here. And then on the downside, you have the 200 DMA sitting right there. So if this bounce fails and you come down, I think you're probably just going to sweep the lows of what we just got across the board. I think you'd probably just make, you know, a marginal newer low, drive everybody crazy again, and then maybe come down here over here on DAA, and then you start getting a buy. But I think that could take time. Maybe 1 to 2 weeks this bounce, you know, plays out, and then, you know, maybe that can resume. We'll see. Mags ETF, it's right on the 200 DMA with the bullish divergence, triple bullish divergence over here on the daily RSI. That's notable. Okay. All right. Now we're going to quickly run through all the Mag 7 stocks. You're right underneath the 200 DMA over here. You got the bullish divergence here on the daily time frame. You're in the golden pocket. You're right here at 271. That's where you broke out from. This is a confluence area right now. But I will also say, with what Elon is doing, I don't know if the market is going to favor this guy so much right now. All right, company's cool. All right, company's great. Elon with what he's doing, I don't think people like demand so much. So I'm just going to, you know, say that's definitely a factor over here with this stock if you're trading it. Now, Meta, this is probably the most bullish Mag 7 stock that I'm going to point to today. You know, first of all, you had, I don't know if you guys can actually see this. Yeah, no, that didn't work. Okay, you come over here, you come over there. Where is it? It's over here, okay? I'm trying to make it so you could see it, all right? But, you know, you had, like, sweeps coming, like, literally right before the close over here. Millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. We're talking, you know, $15 to $20 million came in, you know, within 30 minutes of the close over here. A lot are for the 328 expiration. The rest of them are all for the 314 expiration. I do have to assume Meta's about to be doing some cool things. But, yeah, I mean, second half of the day here, you had, in the second half, you know, after one, you just had straight calls coming in, being swept. These are all sweeps. So you had a lot of other, you know, bull flow go on. Meta was the most bullish from what I saw, and there's that. Okay, so Meta right at the 0.618 fib. I do think you're probably at least about to get a bounce back to 659.50 over here. Get above there. That's when you test 675.25 real quick. Amazon 200 DMA. You're sitting right on it. You got the bullish divergence over here on the daily RSI. Probably is about to snap back. That's all I'm going to leave it at. You have 215.90. That's, you know, a confluence spot over there for sellers. Daily 21, as well as where you broke down from over there. You already confirmed the level. So watch 215.90. Goog, this is one that, it's just kind of been building this base out, and I do have to assume it's about to launch off of that base. So this is the same concept I'm talking about. Revert to the mean, expect sellers at these short-term moving averages. You're just kind of consolidating right underneath the 200 DMA as well as the 9 EMA over here. And if you snap up above 176.73 here, I do think you're probably going to test 183.79. So that is Goog. Microsoft looking real constructive over here. You have buyers now stepping in, both of the times. If you can take out, both on these attempts to, take out this 385.58 level, false breakdown, and you confirmed the reclaim over here on Friday off 385.58. Watch 480, get above 480. You're watching that 405.57 to 410.29 zone. Apple over here, guys, not looking bad. The big Apple ain't looking bad. You had, again, the 200 DMA sitting right over there. I told you it was the theme in this video. And you got the second weekly lower wick sitting here. I think this is about to start getting buyers. You're getting the second time buyers are defending it when you're trying to, fall off the face of the earth over here. It's looking pretty nice over here. You got buyers stepping in from the same area, which is right around that 200 DMA. All right, so Mag 7 stocks, they're looking good, guys. They're looking good. And again, Mag's ETF retest as well as the 200 DMA test, that is notable. Okay, across the board, that's notable. We have that on pretty much everything. All right, now in terms of chips over here, the strongest one and the best set up one, I very much so was pounding the table around here. I didn't know you had a big move up on earnings. You faded the whole move, so that is something that took place too on Friday, not today. But you had a big move up. You faded it. You faded the whole freaking move. All right. The whole entire move. And then you got bought up. All right. So Avgo then did some crazy things into the close. I'm just saying, I think this can very quickly get up to 211.11, get above 196.23, probably gets a snap back to 211.11, and you're watching 219.51 above there. NVIDIA. Hammer candlestick on Friday over here. Daily RSI, guys, it's in that same spot. I know things aren't going to be perfect, but we're probably going to get the reversion to the mean. Look for that 10% bounce from over here. We're probably at least going to get up to right over here, 124.44. That area right there we broke down from. That would be a 15% bounce. But, don't expect you to do anything crazy and, just break out through this whole area right here is resistance. Okay, you're under the 200. You got short-term moving average right here. This is where this was your floor, and you broke down under it, and then you tried reclaiming it, and it was a false, pretty much a false, reclaim, false breakout, whatever you want to call this thing, and then you faded again. So sellers are probably right here. Like if you test this area, this whole area, I'm going to say right here up to here, expect sellers like 125 to 130. 135, just expect the sellers to be there. Right here is where you want to be playing it, not over here, because after it gets there, and if we do have another leg down the market, NVIDIA led the way down over here. It's pretty ugly. But what if that thing gets over here? You don't want to drive yourself crazy. SMCI, you're finding buyers in the golden pocket. This honestly isn't looking too bad. It's not one I personally would be focusing on, but pop up above this high right over here at 40.90. That's where the short-term moving averages are as well. Get a daily close above there. You could probably come back up to 50.61. TSM, how are you looking over here? Finding buyers around the 0.618 fib. You have a bullish divergence there on the daily RSI. Probably about to snap back above 184.74. From there, you're going to be looking for a move up to 197.46. Not necessarily looking all that bad. Just not. But you do have the 200 sitting right over here around that 184.74 level. So expect rejection. If you can get above there, probably get a move up here. Okay. Now, as far as Bitcoin goes, guys, I'm going to say this looks ugly. I wouldn't be focusing on them. I know Coin and MSTR look really nice on the charts right now, especially Coin. But this thing is just consolidating around the 200 DMA. Yes, it probably gets bought up. But what if it fades down here to 74K? Wouldn't you want to take advantage of it? You got stuff to focus on the stock market. So, if those things decide to do some cool things while Bitcoin fades over here, then, maybe we have something like maybe Bitcoin separates from the overall market is what I'm getting at. So we're going to have to see what happens. But, MSTR, you're right here at this confluence area for sellers. You got the trend line. You got 322 down to 303, your supply zone. Getting rejection, watch 267, but then you come over here to Coin, and really the weekly chart don't look all that bad. All right, you get these hammer candlesticks back to back over here, increasing volume on the week. You're in the golden pocket. Daily RSI had the bullish divergence. Like, it really doesn't look all that bad. Pop above 233.40, you probably do end up coming up here to 265.20, but you're going to need the help of Bitcoin for that to happen. And Bitcoin looks like you can pull back, then I don't think it's worth focusing on. All right, guys, from here, we're going to take a look at these trade ideas. And I'm just going to say, all right, you have no obligation to take any of them. Just put them on your radar if you'd like. You know, here are the setups that I think are, you know, right now they're ready to go. ASTS, this is one that, you know, really didn't do all that bad with the market falling off a cliff. You consolidating this bull flag, and now you look like you're going to pop up to new highs. 40 plus incoming. You over here, guys, weekly hammer candlestick on the week. Short-term moving averages test that 2340 spot. Looking real nice. Golden pocket test. Looking real nice for a move back up to 2866. Baidu, all right? So this is one that, you know, really hasn't been participating in this, you know, the Baba run that's been going on. I think it's probably going to play some catch-up, all right? So Baidu. That's one that you could look for a move above 164. You got the golden pocket sitting right up there, so look for sellers. All right. Now, speaking of that guy, China. Bob over here, weekly chart, pretty sexy. Breaking retest off of 125.84. Looks like you can continue higher. All right. So that's something that I'm going to be paying attention to over here. Baba, pop above 145.30. It's probably going to start just coming up here to 161.14. It's probably going to just keep having the price action in the after hours. You really didn't get much from the you know, daily price action there. Most of this movement happened in the after hours, so it's probably going to continue that trend. Just expect it. All right, so pretty hectic trade over there. Affirm, you're at a key spot over there, 51.49. You can see on the weekly time frame, big break and retest level there from this, you know, inverse head and shoulders, cup and handle action you had over there. 200 DMA sitting right below, and you're getting a daily hammer as the daily RSI gets into oversold territory. Probably about to bounce back. All right, if I had to guess where, at least to here, over here at 61.42. Uber, all right, showing the strength during the, you know, the time the market was falling off a cliff the last 2 weeks. This thing has done absolutely no, it's been nothing but, you know, print these bullish hammer candlesticks. I do think it's probably going to, you know, have that move back to the highs on this next move. HIMS over here, guys, you're at 35.02 breakout level right there, 0.786 fib. I think you're probably going to see a quick snapback up above 40 bucks from here, and that is something that could pay into the short-term moving averages. Expect rejection. All right, if you test this area over here, just expect rejection. XLY, this is one that, you know, has the daily bullish diverge. You got the 200 DMA, and you're putting a hammer candlestick. So we could very well come up here and test 218.30. So that's a little, you know, ETF that's probably going to perform well. All right, and that means, you know, its components are probably going to perform well. Coming over to Carvana, 200 DMA test, hammer candlestick. I'm thinking we probably get a retest of 207.08 in the short term. That's what I'm watching over here on Carvana. Teton, 200 DMA, hammer candlestick, daily RSI is oversold. Probably going to get a retest of 724. Not going to say this is a strong one and one that I'd be watching, but it is right on that 200 with a hammer, so it is something that when I did my scan, I picked up. Down over here, 200 DMA, daily RSI hit oversold territory over there, and it does look constructive over there on the weekly time frame. This is, you know, big move up and now slow move down. I like it. It's probably getting ready for another big move up over the coming weeks. That's sound hound. Hood, all right. 0.786 fib test, found buyers, daily RSI is on that, you know, that spot that most of the times have been getting these bounces at. Above 48.08, look for a move up to 52.65 and then 57.50. RK right here, big break and retest, second hammer candlestick there on the daily time frame off of the 200 DMA. Get above 53.86, probably going to see a move back to 57.70 and then 60.48. Avgar, already pointing this one out, but really big, sexy break and retest. 200 DMA action right there. Daily RSI was oversold. This thing's ready to snap back above 196, talking 211. MCD finally got the breakout from this 2 to 3 weeks of range here to new highs. Any pullbacks or buying opportunities, if you pull back into 317.90, pullback buying opportunity. If you pull back 311, big pullback buying opportunity. I don't think it's going to happen. That's McDonald's. KO, big snap back on Friday above 71.77. You were talking 72.75 and 73.53. All right, and then the last one, I'm seeing talks about this one on Twitter over the weekend. I'm liking how this thing is looking. I'm agreeing with these guys. You do have 2 years of consolidation, 2 to 3 years of consolidation here. You broke out above it. You retested that. All right, and now you are finding your buyers there. And you're just consolidating. You're looking like you're about to see some snapback action. If you can take out 39.77, we're talking 44.53, 48, and then 53.85. All right, guys. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.